So we are live now, right? We're on live video. Okay. Start my music. Democratically, they are the people for the people. Economically, they are the people by the people. Spiritually, they are the people with the people. Politically, they are the people with the people. Yes, give power to my people, power to their people. Give power to my people, power to their people. Give power to my people, power to their people. I say give power to my people, power to their people. So, now, listen to the voice of the people. So do us a favor, build us a free world, free from oppression. We should love one another, build us a free world without corruption. Yes, we should love one another, build us a free world, free from discrimination. We should love one another, build us a good world with good resolution. We should love one another, build us a free world without inflation. Yes, we should love one another, build us a free world without corruption. We should love one another, will you build us a free world without confusion? As the sun will ever rise, so the light shall ever shine. Power to the people, power to the people. As the wind shall ever blow, so the sea will ever flow. Power to the people, power to the people. As far as there is life, there must be hope. Power to the people, power to the people. As the sun shall ever shine, so the sun shall ever rise. Power to the people, power to the people. As the wind shall ever blow, so the sea will ever flow. Power to the people. As far as there is life, yes, there must be hope. Power to the people, power to the people. Give power to the people, power to the people. I say, give power to the people, power to the people. They are the people for the people, they are the people by the people. We are the people with the people, power to the people. Democratically, they are the people, power to the people. Yes, of course. Economically, they are the people for the people, power to the people. Okay, so what do we do?
Yeah, I can take that one. Okay. Okay. All right. We'll discuss other things. Okay. All right, sir. Okay, sir. That was the music of Sonny Okosun. Um, we are about to start the show today on the Jobran Idele-Ero show. I'm going to quickly. We're about to start the show today on the Jobran Idele-Ero show, live on Facebook and YouTube. I have a couple of guests coming in today to discuss certain vital issue that is trending in our state, Edo State, and Nigeria generally. I am going to introduce to you the first guest today that is on my program. You all know him, he's been here before. I'm talking about the person of Mr. Ronnie Jacobs. He is the host of Ronnie J Show and the Cancel Cancer. You know, he runs an NGO all the way from London, UK. Mr. Ronnie Jacobs, welcome to the show.
Hey, Mr. Joe, how are you?
I'm very good. I'm very good.
Thanks for having me.
I'm blessed. It's nice to have you here today. How's London? How's the weather in London right now?
The weather is good. The weather is good. Everyone's just trying to
Awesome, awesome,
Everyone's
awesome.
trying to recover from the COVID, but apart from that, all is good. All is good.
Oh, that's good. That's all right. Um, well, you were the last time you were here. We really enjoyed your presence and your appearance, and the discussion was so interesting, and the responses was equally good. But today we have a training issue in our country. I'm talking about the issue that is on ground at the
Yeah.
moment is still continue. We have the problem of the SARS. The SARS, that is a
Mm.
special anti-robbery squad set up by
Mm-hmm.
the federal government
Mm-hmm.
to check the activities of the armed robbers and kidnappers and all that kind of stuff, to arrest that situation. But
Yeah.
eventually it turned out to be something different. This has, they started doing something different, and killing people, especially the young ones, So that brought an uprising in Nigeria. So people reacted. They said no, they no longer want the SARS again. First,
Yeah.
the IG went ahead and suspended them, but the people said no, that's not what they want. They want
Mm-hmm.
outright disbandment of that squad. And then the president responded and actually disbanded the squad. Again,
Mm-hmm.
the IGP, that's the Inspector General of Police of Nigeria, came up again a couple of days ago and said, well, the people who has been in that squad, uh, they are to report for redeployment. But now he set up a different one he called swap, you know. So those are things that we need to discuss today. How do you see the protest going on, Mr.
Yeah.
Jacobs?
I think, first of all, thank you for having me, and I really appreciate what you are doing and trying to use your platform to educate more people and get more people to be involved with the restructuring of Africa. I think, in regards to the SARS issue, the media has a huge part to play in order to be able to I will say this, but I have to be very careful how I say this. The media has a very key role to play in order to balance the views of the people and not escalate the the protests to become violent, because that's what we are all trying to avoid. In terms of why they are protesting, that is without a doubt justified, because I think the challenges that we have all faced for a long time has made people to become kind of frustrated, and they are protesting and to raise their points. Yes, they have a justification in raising their point, and yes, they have a justification in not really trusting the system to be able to deliver what they would like, what they are fighting against. However, we have to be very careful that we don't, we as the media, we have to balance the information that we share, so that way we can try to reduce and not to allow this whole protest to become violent like we've seen in America or other places. So that is my concern. And to add to the agitation of the people, I strongly believe that the protest is beyond the protest of SARS. The protest is more like a liberation protest. People have been oppressed for so long that they are beginning to feel that they've now realized. I think, taking one step back, I strongly believe that the election that happened in Edo State seemed to have empowered the youth to believe that their voice, that they have, they can make a difference. So that whole election and that whole circumstance where the people decided the outcome of their own life has lit fire to the whole country, whereby the youths have now suddenly realized that, listen, they have the power to be able to make a change in their country, which is a good thing. However, we just need to make sure that we balance the information that we put outside to ensure that we manage the situation so it doesn't become violent. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Jacobs, for that. I think you have said it all about the way things are supposed to be with the SARS situation. I'm going to quickly introduce to you, introduce to the audience, people watching live on Facebook and YouTube at this moment, our regular special guest.
Yeah, just check, sorry to interrupt. Just check your video because it's only my face that you go on your screen, so you might want to just double check that.
Say that again.
You can only see my face on your live videos, so you only see my picture. So just check that you can see your picture on the line.
Well, I see your picture. You know, it looks like you are not on you're not on video, right?
Yeah, but when you are talking, it's still showing me. So you need to go to your face.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay, I understand. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now. See, yeah, let's see right here. Okay, is that what you're talking about, Mr.
Yeah,
Jacob? Are you still there, Mr.
Yes,
Jacob?
go ahead.
Ronnie.
Yes, I'm here. Go ahead.
Okay, so as I said, I'm going to quickly introduce to you our special guest on this program, Ambassador Vicky Uwaifo. It's my bad. Ambassador Matthew Vicky Uwaifo is a diplomat from Tanzania. In East Africa, and most times he's also broadcasting from Nairobi, Kenya. I don't really know where he is today. He's probably going to tell us that in just a minute. Ambassador Matthew Biki Uwaifo, welcome to the show, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Ero, and good evening, Ronnie Jacobs. It's a pleasure.
Welcome.
I like the way you have missed your beard and your mustache. It's making you look very handsome.
Don't worry, I'll come spend a nice weekend in Tanzania.
No problem. God bless you. It's my pleasure to be with you again today, Mr. Joe Brown.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so before you came in, I just introduced the topic for today, which was, I hope you guys are hearing me clearly, right?
Very clear.
Very good.
Yes,
so
very clear.
The topic for today is still on the SARS, the protest that is going on nationwide in Nigeria. Right at the moment, the protest continues in Nigeria about the brutality, the police brutality, and extrajudicial killings, injustices, oppression, name them, that has been going on with the SARS squad that was set up, although it's now disbanded, but it's been again technically replaced by another squad they call SWAP. The IGP just announced that he had replaced the SARS with the SWAP. So the question is, with the protest going on, sir, is the protest justified?
Well, thank you very much, Joe Brown, for always introducing lively topics. As you very well know, I have a burning passion for my state of Edo and also a burning passion for Nigeria as my country. It's the only country I have and the only country I will ever have. Even if I'm born again, I want to be a Nigerian. After having said that, I must tell you the truth from my own personal perspective. And like I always say, every view that I air here is my personal opinion. I have to clear that because of organizations I'm associated with that are political. So whatever statement I make is my personal opinion. I must tell you the truth. You, as you are aware, I did a video about this SARS thing that went viral. I did that video before all these protests started, before the protests started in earnest. And it's so amazing that my video coincided with the protest, because the protest started 2 days after my video. It was just a coincidence, but certain authorities are feeling that maybe I was part of the people who spoiled the protest. Good. At least the protest got to the right quarters. The federal government did what they have to do about it. They answered the people. They heard the cry of the people. And they took action about it. And remember in my video, when people were saying disband SARS, suspend SARS, reorientate SARS, I said it should be disbanded. It should be disbanded. And any other outfit can be formed, but SARS as it is should be disbanded. Now, so many people came on the street and got involved. And the federal government heard their cry, heard my cry also, and the cries of well-meaning Nigerians. And for the first time, the government took action about it. SARS was disbanded, and a new one called SWAT was put in place. Why are people still on the street? For what justification do people have to be on the street? Because if you listen very well, in the beginning, SARS was formed, you know, as an anti-robbery squad. And they later added to their mandate cyber crimes, and added to their mandate kidnappings, and all that was added. Okay, now, SWAT has been formed. SWAT is not a replica of SARS, and we pray to God Almighty that this SWAT will not be the same nor operate the same way like SARS. But my friend, we have a government, an elected government in power, who has heard the cries of his people and did exactly what the people wanted. So what are the protests still for? What are they for? I do not support it, and I believe it's not justified. Medium right now to say that the original criers against SARS have been hijacked. People are now crying SARS for their own personal interest. It is no longer national interest. That's the truth. Because if the federal government had not taken action, then I would say it is justified. But here you have a government taking action, doing exactly what you asked it to do. Let me tell you the truth. Where are we going to be without any security outfit? Will armed robbery not still be going on? Will kidnappings not be going on? Even the IG said that the SARS people, they were called to Abuja to undergo psychological tests, to check their brains, to check why they went to the extent they went with judicial killings and everything. Even if the ICC was to come in or any international body, they will first of all find out what the government has done about the people's protest. And this time the government acted. I think we should give the government a chance to run its own government. We elected this government. Let the government. I'm not an APC member, but I think we should let the government do its job for now. If by the time SWAT comes in and they are behaving the same way like SARS, then we have every right to go back on the street. But all these street protests should stop now. That is my belief, and that's what I think. It should stop now because the government has acted on it. That's how I will look at the whole thing. I don't think the what is it called, the riots and the demonstrations about SARS should be, what is it called, should be the order of the day right now. They can protest about other things. There are so many things wrong with Nigeria. Since the government answered them about SARS now, why not talk about the House of Assembly high emoluments, the salaries and the pay that the House of Assembly is getting, that is the highest in the world. Our senators any more than the President of the United States. Why not go on the street and talk about that? And all other issues. I believe that SARS issue as at now has been attended to and should be left like that. Any other person rioting about it right now is just trying to exploit the situation for their own personal interest. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. With that being said, I think we just have another guest joining us. I think this is Mr. Chris Ojays, if I get that right. Mr. Chris Ojays, we have missed you for a little bit, and I'd like to welcome you back to the show. It is nice having you back again on this interesting topic and that is trending right now in Nigeria. Mr. Chris, welcome to the show. Can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ero. My name is Chris, Chris F.A. I've been on this program previously, just that occasionally I'm always busy because I work somewhere. I cover 2 states in Nigeria, so I actually do work on humanitarian and welfare issues. So this is me. I'm always delighted to be part of this. I like speaking on
all right,
public events. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Okay, now, Mr. Ronije, thank you for having your video on. I can see you now.
No problem,
like,
no problem. I am so excited. I want to add to what my fellow ambassador said.
Right.
He made some comments, which I'm sorry to say, my brother, I have to disagree with you on some key things, right? Which is why we have this show, so we can all rub minds together, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the agitation of the people, our pain, and our reason for raising our voice is not because there is a hidden agenda or we want our personal agenda or we want something personal. It is just for so long when you oppress people and people now have the opportunity to express that anger, it is very difficult to stop, to quench and to press down or to stop that freedom of expression. It will take a lot of trust between the person who is showing this oppression. Like I want to release my oppression. I want to release the chain of my neck. And the person who has the chain of my neck, I don't see the person one-on-one. So it's difficult because the communication gap, there's lack of trust. So people are agitated they're agitated because they just feel that, listen, they're going to tell us that, oh, they're going to change this, they're going to change that, they're going to change SAS to SWAT. They don't believe it. That's the problem. The problem is the disconnect between the people and the government. And that's why I said at the beginning, we have to be very careful. We as media people, we have to be very careful that we don't propagate the notion that there are personal interests involved in this, because one thing or the other can lead to this whole thing erupting to where the government can no longer control it. For example, people are showing videos of what happened two years ago or last year. Oh, they've killed somebody at Ughelli, they killed somebody at Delta. Meanwhile, this person is not dead. All those things are just, they could ignite a violence that we can no longer control. Yes, the government has changed SARS to SWAT. Nobody agrees with that. We don't, because we don't really trust that system. However, the truth is, whatever they put in place will take time. Whatever they put in place will take time. Do we have that patience of time? Do we trust that the government can deliver within that time? I think that's the core of the problem at the moment. People just don't believe that what they say they will do. There are so many problems. My brother talked about the salaries. Nigeria has many issues. We are now talking about this particular issue. So let's hope that the government can listen to us as we say, making our comments, and then find a way of pacifying these people before it erupts into something else. That was just what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Ojays, what is your take about the topic on ground?
Yeah, I didn't listen to Ambassador very well, but I think Ronnie spoke as if he's on ground here in Nigeria. I want to say that a lot of things actually are not right here. You look at the society, you look at the youth, they don't have any future and they struggle to make ends meet for themselves. How they do this, you don't know. How they create jobs for themselves, you don't know. How they struggle to make it, you don't know. Most especially if you talk of politicians, they don't care about anybody. All they know is themselves. So everything is to themselves. And it's like the people have been pushed to the wall. It's like the people have just discovered themselves. It's like the people have decided to take their destiny by their hand, in their hands, and they want to actually get out of the present quagmire they found themselves. You don't see people, somebody going through school, coming out, no job, even when he tries to do something, it's not working, and somebody comes out and tell you that, oh, I'm going to build castles. They keep building castles on the air. They do this, do that, get away with it, and they oppress the people. So the people have just discovered. And honestly, if they don't manage it very well, it can degenerate into any other thing. You are talking about SARS. Yes, like Ambassador said, all their request has been met. The 5 things they requested, they've been met. But why are they still on the street? There are still other things that they are actually asking for. And don't forget that I am one of those that has always advocated or said, please don't do away with SARS, rather reform them. And I believe that if they want to reform SARS, they should start looking at people that you can say, okay, these ones are intellects. Recruit graduates. I don't mean secondary school graduates. Recruit graduates into SARS. And when you recruit them, refine them and make sure they end very well. They don't come out. They are just like SWAT. When there are issues, bring them out and they deal with it and go back. You will find out that the SARS you are talking about, a graduate will not go on the street and start asking people and intimidating people. He will do it in a more refined way. That's how I see it. If you take them completely away, do not forget that in the society we are in today, there are lots of criminal tendencies. They actually, SARS came up as a result of kidnapping, robbery, different type of crime. That was why they brought in SARS. So I'm not somebody, I don't support complete, they say dissolve, eradication or whatever of SARS. All they need to do is to see how they can reform it and make it work. Then they should give the people the power, because actually if you look at what governance is, it's the people that actually have it. It's not those that operate it. Those that operate it are just servants. We need people that when you speak, those are the heads of affairs will quiver, they will shake, they will listen, and they will implement what we want. You don't come and tell me that I need a borehole in my local government when I know that I need to pay for my school fees. You don't come and tell me that you want to create one dam when I know there is no road in my area. Listen to me and I'll tell you what I want in my area. Go back and represent me. That's what it should be. Not coming to all the way from Abuja, you are telling me what you need to do in Igwebe. It doesn't work that way. You are telling me what to do in, what's it called? It doesn't work that way. It must be government should be people-oriented policies that are driven, not those that are at the hem of affairs, and they just tell you, okay, they want to do this, they want to build railway, they want to do that, they want to, and at the end of the day, all this, they line up their pockets.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, coming back to, there was a point raised earlier by the ambassador that the protesters, what they were protesting for has been heard by the federal government, and as a matter of fact, the federal government responded, positively this time. I think with the way things are going in Nigeria, I think things are going in the positive direction, because before now, no matter what people do, they don't listen. The government don't listen. Now we have started to, we are starting to see some changes that the people are actually they are happy to see. Now the government in power today came in with advocating for change, right? This is the kind of change that we want. We want the government to listen to the people, to the voice of the people. Now the people came out in protest for the extrajudicial killings that has been going on by the SARS squad. Now, they first of all, they came out with the suspension. After the suspension, now it is totally disbanded. So that means the federal government listened to the people, right? Okay, after that, the ambassador was, curious. He was not happy that the people are seeing in the street protesting after what they were asking for has been given to them. So I want us to talk a little bit about that, that point. Is it okay for the people to continue to protest? And what are they now protesting for? Ronnie Jacobs.
I think you let the ambassador to chip in.
Oh, is the ambassador still there? Okay, ambassador, please go ahead and tell us something about that.
Well, I'm a little bit lost about what the topic we are discussing is. Why am I saying that? With due respect to my brother who spoke last, or Jazz, I know that you are a human rights person and you are on the ground, but that's what a lot of people tell me most of the time, that, oh, you are abroad, you are not on the ground. And I just laugh. I have security reports which I review every day. I have information which I cannot put on the public space, which I have at my disposal to be able to say anything that I say. And there is no point of disagreement between what Ronnie Jacobs said, within what Oja said, and what I'm saying. If I really take it, there is a running thread between all of them. Now, the Edo State election opened everybody's eyes. And people were saying it, that after the election, a lot of things will happen in Nigeria. And I think quietly that a silent revolution has begun in Nigeria. But you see, just as you were saying, don't forget, you are dealing with an oligarchy. You are dealing with people who have been in power and have been managing power for a very long time. They will not give up easily. So what I'm saying, people say, oh, the people will run riot, the people will do this, the people will do that. What do we need all those violence for? What do we need the police to throw tear gas for? The point I'm making is this. There are myriad of problems in Nigeria right now. So many problems. SARS was just one of them. And SARS was one of them because, like I said, when I even went at the risk of my position and everything to make a video about it, as I said, by killing our youths, you are killing the future. By molesting our women, you are molesting the very fabric of our nation. Having said that, I equally say, and I'm standing.
All right. It looks like we are having a connection issue again with the ambassador's device. Now, as we're talking about,
The government has already said that there are, what is it called, that they are attending to it, and the 5 points that was mentioned when the riot started, they have already solved those 5 points. So what I'm saying is this: instead of rioting about SARS right now, why don't you change it and say you need community policing? I guess that is what Ojas, maybe I'm making a mistake. I guess that is the point that Ojas should make. Community policing. If every state in Nigeria can have their own police in their community, I think it will go a long way to solve issues. Immediately people saw that the federal government is now listening to them. We now have a listening government. The government has woken up. How it started listening cannot be put on the public space. But for people who are very observant, they will know why the government started listening. It began from Edo State because of certain things that happened behind. Some even happened live, and I was involved in it. And certain things happened to me about that issue. So I just leave it there. But remember, certain people I'll just mention briefly were given visa bans. They were given visa bans. How the visa bans came about, nobody really knows. So we leave it like that. But what I'm trying to tell you right here is this: since the government listened about SARS and decided to bring SWAT or RAT or whatever name they decide to call it, the people would have seized that opportunity immediately and start mobilizing for two things. One, community policing. Two, restructuring the federation.
All right.
Let us return back to the Constitution of 1960.
Yes,
That's
yes.
all restructuring means. Don't let them start telling you different jargons, bringing big words and all that and so on. Forget it. In 1960, from 1957 to 1959, we had a constitution that was negotiated by all Nigerians, and they came up in 1960 with 3 regions, and the center had no power. Each region was to generate its own income. Each region had its own police, and it will surprise you, my brother, each region has its own ambassador. Do you know that Nigeria had 4 ambassadors in London as at 1960 to 1966? While this man, what is his name? I've forgotten. I still remember that the person who was representing the East then was M.T. Umbu. He was the Eastern Region ambassador to London. Each region, then the Midwest region fought, and it was created August 9, 1963, and it became the 4th region and the smallest. But small as it was the only state that was created under the entity called Nigeria by a referendum and according to constitutional authority. Every other state created since then has been by decree. The people were not involved. Okay, now that constitution worked for us very well, and we are saying now that the federal government should revert to the constitution which the military overthrew. This is what I'm saying. With this momentum now, the south of Nigeria, where the SARS were killing people, extrajudicial killing, that in my video I even asked, I said, are Southerners now second-class citizens? Because SARS does not do that nonsense in the north. It was a southern thing. And I was asking, are they trying to annihilate us in the South? Are we not Nigerians? So the point I am making, to just cut it short so other people can talk, is simply this. SARS, we were answered. The 5 points that were raised have been answered. Why don't you turn the momentum to community policing so that they too can grant that request? Why don't you turn it to restructuring instead of dissipating your energy? And don't forget, all these protests, I'm telling you the truth, it can't last more than 2 weeks. That's what the federal government always believes. The highest our protests can last is 2 weeks, 3 weeks. People will enter their house. So please, all I'm saying is this, that SARS, yes, we have opened the way. SARS looks like...
Oh, well, thank you, sir. Before I switch over to Chris Ojais to speak, if you are just tuning in, you are still listening to the midweek show of the Jobran Idele-Ero show, happening live on Facebook and YouTube. Please do not forget to join us every Wednesday, every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Central Time, North America, and the time for Nigeria is 5:30 p.m. same as the UK. But wherever you are all over the world, you can apply your time to fit into that. We just heard about the ambassador trying to switch a little bit the topic from what is going on today, because he think it is enough. What the protesters wanted has been given to them by the federal government. They have listened, and I have blogged about this before myself personally, that this is a silent revolution. I think so. The silent revolution has started with the Edo State election. What happened in Edo State is going to continue to spread all over the country. I know that. So, and that silent revolution is what is going on now. The federal government have heard about the protesters, and they are still protesting for what? That's what the ambassador is asking. Why not ask about something else, like local or community policing? That's number one. That's very, very important. Also, local or community policing. And then he also mentioned about restructuring, back to the way the country was way back during independence. That's 1960, 1963, where people have a republic. As a matter of fact, that time is where we have Midwestern state created in 1963, and so that's what the ambassador is just talking about, which is, pretty good. That's what the people should be talking about, rather than continue to protest for what has been answered. We want those things that has not been answered to come on board. Now, we're talking about community policing. In that has to be a constitutional thing. Community policing, yes, okay, but it has to be a constitutional thing. It's going to have to come either as an amendment or, to place it in the constitution so that it can be created. Because right now we do not have community policing. Can
I chip in there?
If Ronnie J, you're back, right? Okay, so
yes, I'm with you.
I wanted to say something on the issue that was just raised by the ambassador, that he think it is about time for the protesters to stop and then come up with a different issue, like the community policing you just mentioned, or restructuring. These are things that we need the government to address and to make the people happy, to satisfy the yearnings of the people. What do you have to say about that, Mr. Jacobs?
Sorry, my phone was on mute.
Right.
I think one thing that is common across the board is that we seem to be talking along the same lines, but just using different perspectives and examples to express what we are saying. I think for the goalposts to be moved and for the goalposts to change in terms of what the people are asking for or what they are agitating for, there has to be a controlled protest whereby there are representatives of the people who are speaking on behalf of the people, so that when the goalposts, those representatives listen to the people and then change the goalpost and then approach the government for that to happen. I understand completely where my learned colleague was saying that people are, some areas of the protest becoming a personal interest because it is not a controlled protest. And one of the dangers of having an uncontrolled protest is the protest could continue in one area, die down in the other area, and the other area picks up again, and then anybody can just pick up their own protest and gather some people, and then it becomes very unproductive and it becomes harmful to the economy. So that's one of the dangers of doing that. So if there are people who are representing various states, state union at the universities, this is an opportunity for them to take leadership of their own state and then coordinate together and be the voice of the people, because they are the youths of the future. So my concern, as I keep saying, is unless we have that control, this can easily get out of control. And what we don't want to see happen is the police, which I want to commend them so far, because they have kind of taken a violent approach towards this whole thing, because that would just blow everything out of proportion. However, they've been very passive in terms of how they react to the protesters, and I hope that this will just continue so that it does not erupt into something else. Sorry, my daughter's there just making tea. So to add to what my colleague said about the community policing, I think it might be a challenge, okay? It might be a challenge at the moment to ask for too many things when we have not been able to resolve the core of the protest. The core of the protest is to end police brutality. And how do we do that? It was identified that SARS was the core instigator of police brutality. So we have fought for that. They have now decided to remove that. Now it is now left for the leader of the country to now tell us, okay, these are the new structures that are going to be in place. These are how we're going to implement them. This is when this is going to happen. This is when this is going to happen. Hold us accountable if this does not happen. Now, it comes back again to the issue of trust. No matter what the government is going to try and do, or the Inspector General is going to try and do, because of the lack of trust that we have in their commitment from previous experiences, it's going to be very difficult for the people to just say, okay, they said they're going to do it, they'll calm down. The people did not believe that they have enough power until they executed their power at the last Benin Edo State election. From that, people have come to realize how powerful their voice can be. So people have just come into this power, so the government has to be very careful how they manage it. And don't forget, I want to highlight this. We keep saying the government and the police and the IG and all that. They are not used to this kind of approach. They're not used to this kind of approach that the people have now become aware of how powerful their voice can be. They are used to oppression. Shut up, sit down, get up, stand up, get out, move, I'll kill you, I'll slap you. I don't know if you watched the video. I want to say this, and I hope that I don't offend the Inspector General. I watched the video when Davido went to visit the IG with the team. I don't know if you watched it, was on channels, and as they were talking, I got the impression that they thought the PRO was upset, and the IG now chipped in quickly to say, "Listen, no, he's not upset. Let's just keep talking." But my point is, the public relations officer is the key person to connect the police with the people. And where we are now is to bring in community policing. I think is something later down the line that we can discuss once we've been able to bring the country under control. Because I am very concerned and scared that everything that we've worked on for the past 60 years will blow up all of a sudden because of one policeman shooting a protester in one village somewhere because those protesters are trying to break into a bank or do something illegal, and the police will now shoot them, and those guys will come out and say they killed the protesters, and then we have a civil war in our hand. So we have to be very, very careful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You see, we're going to be, going back and forth the way it is now, because it looks like we are not completely done with this brutality, police brutality, and that of the protesters. Okay, now, I have a question here. This is going to be directed to the ambassador, Matthew Biki Waifu, who is with us today on this very crucial topic of discussion. Now, the question I have for the ambassador is, before we go into the issue of community police and restructuring, talking about these same protesters regarding the same issue that is seat training, talking about the police brutality and all that, the federal government have addressed it. Yes, okay, but how
so
about,
your video is still on my picture.
How about the education? How about the the education? When I say education, is the people, I mean the police institution, do they have enough orientation and education on how to conduct themselves professionally, before the people, So these are things that matter. Again, disbanding them is okay, or replacing them with a different squad, like you now call it SWAT, okay. Do they have the adequate, equipment, and do they have the proper orientation on how they conduct themselves? It doesn't matter. Even if you can bring out different squad to replace the one that has been disbanded or something, but what have they done to train the police institution in that country on how to conduct themselves before the public, the general public? That is a big problem right there. So, Ambassador, would you please address that a little bit? I know you are kind of done with the issue of the people's continuity of to continue to protest in the street when the issue has been addressed. Yes, it has been addressed, but they believe that the brutality continues. But if the police institution hasn't that adequate gadgets and equipment to address the crime, the societal crime, and then also the proper orientation on how to conduct themselves in carrying out their responsibilities, their duties. That's another issue. I guess the people are still concerned about that. So can you please tell us something about that? We understand your concern. Can you please address that, Ambassador?
The only thing I can tell you is simply this. The IG disbanded the police just a few days ago. And knowing Nigeria for what it is and what you just asked now, going by what Ronnie Jacobs said, that there is no trust. Trust is earned, and it's a process. Trust doesn't just come overnight. It's a process. These people have set up a new outfit. They have equally taken the action of sending the former SARS members for psychotic tests and other therapies to check, are these people normal? What does that show you? It shows that the government itself is concerned, and they know that their people have run amok. I have never seen where an IG of police before said that some police officers should be sent for psychiatric tests. That's the first time. So a lot of things are happening. All I'm saying is this: if SWAT has been checked up, okay, let's just assume now the police decided they disbanded what is it called, SARS, and then nothing was set up in its place. They just decided they do the ordinary policing that they used to do.
Okay.
The rate of armed robberies and all these cyber crimes, who is going to fill the void? You see, any void cannot be allowed in the system. And that is why SWAT was brought in. I think they should be given a chance. Like he said, I think what you concern us now is the SWAT thing. Like you said, what training are they going to get? How are they being orientated? What equipments do they have? What trainings are they going to have in order to combat crimes? What system are they going to use that will be different from SARS? Because, to be frank, the idea of SARS was not bad in the beginning. It was the practicality of it. People who practice it, people who were supposed to implement it, that ran amok. And like I told them, they became an official terrorist gang, you know? Yes, they ran amok. But nevertheless, if you do not give the government a chance to be able to replace SARS and then monitor, I think what should happen now is this SWAT, all human rights groups, all well-meaning Nigerians, we now monitor this group, because everybody's eyes is open now. Everybody is shining their eyes. They shine their eyes on this new group. And within the next few months, we can be able to tell whether this group has answered to our aspirations. That is one. Then two, you are saying that people would, if they are not answered now, one has to be careful. It can blow off into another thing and all that and so on. Well, I'm always optimistic about Nigeria. But let me just ask a question. When it blows up, who is going to be affected the most?
The people.
Yeah. The people are going to be affected the most. And that is why we will not want our people to be used for fodder. Because we have seen, what I'm saying is this, and I still repeat it again. And SARS is being hijacked by some people to the line, and the daughter of who again? I've forgotten that one. They came to the line, and the next thing they are the face and the picture of SARS. Whereas the people who really originated SARS and fought for it, we are not hearing their names. I have seen this thing happen so many times in Nigeria, whereby people fight for a cause. The people who fought for the cause are never known. The cause is hijacked.
All right.
It's a lesson to all of us. This is the point.
Ero, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Ambassador, sorry, it looks like
Ero, can I say something?
yes, Chris, go ahead, Ambassador. I'm sorry. It looks like there's
No, it's
some
okay,
issue
it's
with
okay.
your
Let
network
him
in a
talk,
little
please.
bit. Let's give a little bit a chance to Mr. Chris Ojace to address, I mean to respond to you, to what you just raised. Mr. Chris, go ahead, sir. It looks like your video is not on. Are you okay there?
That's
Yeah, but can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well. Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. I'm driving.
Okay.
I left the office. Okay. Now, it's a good thing. I listened to the
But
ambassador. He said so many
you can
things.
pass.
I want to say, if you listen to the governor of Lagos State, he was saying we are going to give you 200 million. Who is will meet with your leaders, and the youths, they shouted, "We don't have leaders. We don't have any leader." You understand? They were trying to use money to induce these people, and that is what has been happening in this country. You see a lot of people, those that started it, before you know, they kick them out and they call the prominent ones. Ambassador just said about the daughter of Osibanjo, even Buhari's daughter. They both came out and the media picked those ones as if those are the people that started this whole thing, forgetting that there are other people that started, and some people have suffered so much for this country that when they come out to protest, they go through pains, they go through humiliation, they go through arrest and different things in this community, in this country. Yet they don't recognize those people. But it is getting to the time, actually, because of this protest, the next thing is to move and say reform, like Ronnie said it, Ambassador said it. We need a reform in this country. We start looking at reforming the police. Let us have the community police, where the policemen in my community are from my locality. And these people will identify and know the people that you know everybody in your community. Somebody cannot come from Katsina State to come and be a policeman in my community. He does not have a clue of who and who lives in that community. So that is why we still have a high rate of crime. But if you have people from this community policing the community, it will go a long way in curbing some of these excesses of the criminal acts. Then you look at the regions. He spoke about the regions. Very, very key. If we are serious about the regions in this country, do not forget that when Nahoro actually requested that Nigeria requested for independence for Nigeria, there was a certain region in this country that said, no, we are not ready. That is the same problem we are seeing having. As I speak to you, some youths in Borno State, with the deputy governor in support that received them, said they should not disband SARS, that SARS should go ahead. It's very lofty ideas. You see people that they will sponsor that will come and counter it, or they will use ethnicity or religious sects, draw those lines, and they use them to counter whatever the good thing that you have in mind. That's why a lot of things are not working in this country. But if we go to regions, go back to regionalism, you will discover that regions will move faster. People will develop faster, because if you are not ready, they will leave you behind. And when you see other regions doing certain things, you wake up and start doing this. But hence, we are still on this. Everything goes to the center, then we will not progress. This country will not develop.
Okay. Thank you, Chris. I know that the ambassador is listening to you right there, and all of us are listening, and I believe he's going to respond to that in just a minute. But before then, in my own case, I know what we are all talking about right now. I think the protest need to come separately, addressing a particular issue, like we just had it now on the brutality, the police brutality, and all that, which the government listened, positively to. We know that. So which means now that we know that the government is listening, they have opened their ear, they've opened their windows, they now listen to the people, they listen to what the people want. So now we're going to have to start presenting them one after the other. So I believe that's what we need to do, and that is, with that being said, we need to present, properly, not by joining everything together. Now we are done with the issue of the protest, regarding police brutality and all that. This SARS squad has been disbanded. We need to again come up. The people need to come up now and follow these things, step by step. Come up with that of restructuring, if that's what we need to address, or come up with the community policing. Community policing is not going to be just like that. It should be a matter of a constitutional issue. I believe that. So the community policing is something that is not just going to happen right away, like the government disbanded the SARS squad. Now that will be is going to be like a constitutional issue. Ambassador, I asked the same question before, and I'm going to ask it again. What is the process? What is the...
Excuse me.
Excuse me?
Yes, sir. Yes. Before you ask me any other question again, Mr. Ronnie Jacobs is making a very wonderful contribution. So I would like to leave the floor to him to talk more on what you just raised, because he was talking in that direction before, that the SARS had no leaders. So I want him to expatiate on that, and with the community police that you have asked, I think he will be in a better place to continue the...
Okay. I guess Mr. Ronnie J, I think he's listening to you. So can you respond to the ambassador, please, Mr. Jacobs?
Hi, I hope that you can hear me.
I can hear you.
I think, yes, I think I want to appreciate everybody, and I think we have to be very careful, because obviously you are the moderator. I don't want the whole conversation to be around we responding to what the ambassador is saying, because he's just also responding to what you are saying.
Yes.
So we have to be very careful with that. And going forward, my point on the issue of how we can make an impact is, this whole protest started, and one of the challenges that we have, I want to repeat myself, is there is nobody leading the revolution for change. For example, if maybe Sowore was the person who started this whole thing, at least we know that everybody is fighting for a cause which somebody has spearheaded and is pushing, and we can trust that person, and everyone is listening to that voice. Like, for example, if you take the Black Lives Matters, there are different groups, it's different groups in different states around the world, or it's coordinated by a central group. There's a central person and a central groups of people who are coordinating that Black Lives Matter. For there to be directed changes within any organization, there cannot be a vacuum. Where there is a vacuum, nothing happens. We'll shout for the next 3 weeks, and everything will disintegrate, and we'll be back to where we started before. The only way we can have consistent progress is for us as a people to be able to have representatives of the people speaking for the people. Unfortunately, we don't have that. I like the example that Mr. Chris gave, where he said the youths were about to be bribed, but the youths now said, listen, no, we don't want money. We have always lived in an economy. I am, for example, for the past 2-3 weeks, I've been doing a program to encourage diasporas to come and invest in Africa. Now, where this is hurting me is internationally, what is happening does not encourage diasporas to want to come invest in Africa. I know you got the other topic about the House of Assembly members in Edo State, which I feel very pained about, but I'll wait for you to introduce that before I make my comment on that. However, for us to make change in this country, for us to keep driving, we the people, need to be able to have leadership amongst ourselves and stand up. I love what the ambassador did. I remember 2-3 weeks ago, when I first met him on social media, I watched a video he did about when one leader from one state was trying to dictate how people can live in another state. And he came out and he spoke boldly. And I think that got over 500,000 people watching or watch it afterwards. And those are the kind of comments on leadership that we need so that we can help make this difference. And don't blame the daughters of names that you people mentioned that have stepped forward to try and take the glory from March. It's a vacuum. Nobody is filling that vacuum. So anybody can step up and take advantage of that vacuum. And then they'll start giving them money, and then they'll start keeping quiet. This has gone beyond money. We are now at a level whereby we are educated enough to decide the fate of our future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now that Mr. Ronnie J has addressed that part, I'm going to move on here to the next issue. You know, it is all still about the same topic, but we have said much enough on the protesters, the police brutality. We have equally said much about the community policing. Like I said, that is going to be, it's a huge topic because it's going to take constitutional amendment to probably effect that. But then again, it is up to the people to represent it, you know, either through a protest or through referendum, if that is what the government we chose to follow. Otherwise, that's going to be another, wide topic to talk about. Now, the restructuring, the ambassador has expanded that. He has spoken about it, not just only today. He has talked about it, he has mentioned it in his own video, and he has mentioned it today, that could be another issue the people should address. And there are so many issues. The government has started listening. I repeat that again, because they have started listening to the people. It started with the Edo State election. People were thinking that there's going to be federal might. The federal might didn't happen. The federal government did not interrupt, into that election. Now, the protests came, the points, the 5 issues that was addressed regarding the protests, government listened and they have addressed it. So now we are going to talk about the restructuring part of it, which people have been talking about, they have been asking. Again, now that the government has started listening, I think it is about time for us to present that. We have the issue of power, electricity in that country. There is no, I would just say, when you ask me, if you ask me, the power system in Nigeria is in total chaos. There is nothing to write home about when it comes to a power, distribution, electricity distribution in that country. People are living in darkness, which not at this time. So these are issues that the people need to address, again, now that the government has started listening. Ambassador, we're going to leave the issue of the community policing because we talked a little about that. We're going to bring it up again another time. We're going to kind of suspend that for now in our discussion today. I don't mind we talking about the restructuring. The people need to be educated. They need to be enlightened regarding the restructuring. When we talk about restructure, people don't know, some people don't know the meaning of it. They don't even know what it is. They don't even know how to go about it, So I need you to, just share light on that a little bit, because we're going to discuss it again some other time. But just give us an idea of, how, that, or how that is going to come up. The restructuring program. give us an idea on how the people need to go about it and the government need to respond about it. Ambassador Matthew Biki Waifu.
Thank you, moderator. About this restructuring thing. And we have all spent quite some time. But I would like, if you don't mind, moderator, to say that the pressing issue of diasporan investments back home right now, yes. If we can, I would have loved to.
Okay. I think we lost the ambassador for just a second. I guess.
Yeah, the network. Yeah, and I think on that topic, I think we can arrange that topic for another show because it is a lot to discuss on that topic. I would suggest.
Which topic are you talking about? The restructuring topic?
No, he was mentioning about the diaspora investment.
Okay. Do you want us to talk? You want us to talk about that now?
Next
right?
week. Next week. No, next week.
Oh, next week. Okay. All right, that's good. We'll put that on Saturday. If the ambassador is listening to us, I know he has an issue with connection.
It's okay, I'm with you.
Are you back?
I'm with you.
You back?
It's just, I'm with you.
Okay, sir.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir?
Let's.
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay, let me bring the ambassador in to continue with that.
Yeah.
Mr.
No, I can hear.
Mr. Jacob just mentioned one thing that he would rather prefer we talk about the restructuring issue in our next show, which is going to be Saturday. If you agree to that.
No, not the restructuring issue. The investment issue.
Oh, the investment thing. Okay. All right, the investment. Thank you. Sorry, I missed that. The investment. You know, he has spoken about this a couple of times in this show because I'm really interested in. The ambassador wants the diasporans to go home and take advantage of the new, the new government that we have. The government is for the people now, and it's by the people. So he has been talking about that this is about time. There's a lot of opportunities available out there now. He said in the life, if I'm not mistaken, in the previous edition of this program, that in the next 2 years, there is going to be a lot of opportunities out there in the state, in Edo State, Nigeria. So, Ambassador, let us
hold on. Let me interrupt.
Let us put that topic for next week. Is that what you say, Mr. Jacobs?
Yes, because it is a huge topic, and I think it's something that we need to dedicate one show a month for, so that we can drive. I mean, I've different ambassadors and people, and you can watch the shows. I've got one coming on tonight at 8 o'clock as well. And it is a critical thing that we now need to start to believe. It's not what the government can do for us, but what we can do for our country. That's the position we are right now. So I'll put that on hold. Go ahead to the next topic.
No, I didn't get you there, please. Which one were you talking about? Because I went off my network.
I was referring to the topic of encouraging diasporas to invest in their communities or in their states. That I feel very strong about that point, and I rather that we have a long, detailed, more time to discuss that, maybe on Saturday or next time we're on air together.
Ambassador.
Okay, that's quite fine. That's quite fine, but I will quickly. Yes. In the last program, I told you, Mr. Ero, that it is time. I was talking about Edo State. I said, quoting President John F. Kennedy and turning his word around at his inauguration in 1960. I told you that it is time for Edolites to think what they can do for Edo State and not what Edo State can do for them. And the same thing Ronnie is talking about. So I quite support what he's saying, and I would have been very grateful, Mr. Ro, if you can give Ronnie my number so I can be joining his what is it called? His platform to listen to that discussion, because
It'll be a
I'm
pleasure.
very,
It'll
very,
be a pleasure.
yeah, I'm very, very interested in people coming home, because I'm going home, my friend. That's the
Boss.
truth. COVID or no COVID, I've already gone far
Exactly.
in making sure I come to invest home. I've already gone far, because that's the way to go right now. But like he's saying, it's a vast topic, just like restructuring. It's not something, if you notice now, we've been on air close to 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Those are not topics you just discuss, in 10 minutes and close it up, or 15 minutes. So I quite support Ronnie Jacobs in saying that you should find another time where we can discuss those topics, other programs, either on Saturday. I'm with you every week. Anytime you want me, I've told you. Even if I'm with my first love, I will just stand up and attend, because for me, the future of Nigeria, the future of our children, future generations is what we are fighting for now. Where we are going is closer to where we are coming from. So please, I would support Ronnie Jacobs to say, for restructuring and for this, you can find how you can join the two together, or how you can make them separate to be discussing.
I think what we can do about that is I'm going to separate the program. I will separate them because it's a wide topic, like I said. Restructuring is very wide. It's very wide,
Yes.
and then also the program,
Yes,
the issue
investment.
of community policing also is another wide topic. So we need to take them
Yes.
case by case. We're going to take them, one by one. Not to, overburden the people listening to us, not to kind of bore them, so much with going back and forth on different topics at the same time, and then there's no end to it. So right now, I'm already putting it down here that the next agenda is going to be, community policing. Let's address that first, because it's kind of in line with the protest that is going on. So we have to address that, simultaneously, to go in line with these present trending issues. So yes, we will do that. We'll do the community policing next Saturday. That's going to be the next topic. I will publish that out so that the people will know about it and be prepared in case they want to respond to us. So that would be, and then after that, we can now address the issue of restructuring. So, and I'm so glad that you guys are here to discuss this issue of of the topic that is going on in Nigeria. Many things are there to be addressed. So again, like I said, we're going to take them one by one. It's going to be one by one after the other. We have dealt with the protest that just happened. Like I said, I am so happy. I am glad about it that the government have started listening to the people. They've started listening to the people. They're actually listening. So what it is next time we will bring up the issue of the police, community policing, how to go about it, how the government will go about it, and how the people need to respond to it. So that is that's basically, yeah, I can see you. I can see you.
Sorry, can I just chip in something
Okay.
very quickly? So I know that you're about to round up the show, and also we quickly regarding the incident that happened in the House of Assembly, and I think we were talking about investing our state or investing back into Africa. We don't help ourselves. You know, our biggest challenge, it pains me to say this, money, when it comes to self-interest, we destroy our international reputation, and it makes it difficult for us to encourage developed countries to come and invest in our communities. It's painful when we take actions and we take acts within our community because of our selfish interests, and we lose so much of how to help the people that we're supposed to be serving. I just hope that when we have this discussion going forward, that we as diasporas start to think how we can impact the decisions that are being made that are impacting and making it difficult for us to encourage more people to come to our country and to do business. I run a charity since 2016. We have a private hospital where we treat people for free. I've not gone to the government. I've not shouted. Nobody even knows what we're doing. I do it quietly because it's for the benefit of the people. I have doctors who fly around the world in different parts of the world who come with me to South Africa, Kenya, different countries. You know that. I don't make noise about it. But what we do to ourselves make it difficult for us to go back to these people and say, listen, come with me, let's go make a difference in Africa. The first thing they'll ask you, I can't go there, they're always fighting. I can't go there, there's political unrest. I can't go there, the government is not stable. We make it difficult for ourselves to bring people to come and help us. I just want to say that. Listen, I have to go to a meeting now, so I wish you all the best and God bless you all. Yeah, thank you all so much.
Thank you, Mr. Jacobs. The show is about to come to an end. I see that the ambassador is having a little bit of issue with his gadget once again, as it has always been happening in the past couple of weeks. So it looks like Chris is also back with us. I guess he has been listening to what we've been discussing. That Chris, if you are just if you are okay, if you are hearing us, we are talking about putting forward the very vast topic like the community policing. We want to make that a just one topic to be addressed in one of the shows. And then we also talk about putting forward the restructuring issue. Chris, are you still there? So I want everybody to be aware of this, that we're going to spread that out because they are wide topics that the people need to be informed about from this platform. We are about to round up the show.
That would be great.
Chris, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I said that would be great.
Okay, good. So, first of all, I'm going to take it, like I said, one by one, case by case. Community policing is going to come up next Saturday. So, let everybody be prepared regarding that topic. Community policing. What we need to do. What the people need to do. What the government need to do in response. So, that is that. Then after that, if we are satisfied with the discussion, that it has been okay, then we will now go to the next one, which is restructuring. Roddy J also suggested that the investment by the people in the diaspora in Edo State, now that we have a new government with huge opportunities out there So that would be another topic. I don't know which one you guys want us to address first, one after the other. Which one comes up first? We have Saturday and midweek, which is like today, next week. So Saturday, I think we can do the investment.
The community policing will be fine.
What?
Yeah, community policing. Community
Okay,
policing.
community policing. That will be Saturday, and then we put on Wednesday the investment by the diaspora in Edo State. So because we have opportunity available now with the new government, if that is okay by us, I'm going to just ask everybody to kind of give their closing remark. Then we call it a day for today's show on the Joe Brown Idele-Ero live on Facebook and YouTube. Mr. Chris, it has been a pleasure having you today. Even though I know you were driving, but you were still able to attend to the topic of ground for the people to listen to your voice and to your contribution. With that being said, I want you to go ahead and give us your closing remark for today, and then hopefully we'll be back same time, on Saturday. I don't want us to miss you. We want you to be part of the discussion. So go ahead and give your closing remark, Chris.
All right. Thank you so much, Ero. I want to say what you are doing now, you wouldn't understand the extent it's going or is impacting on people. As you do this, the Lord will continue to strengthen you, grant you the resources to be able to achieve the aim. This is for humanity. It's not because you want to make some money out of it or get some, gratitudes from me. But the truth is that as you brought up this platform, it's going to resolve a lot of issues. And don't stop. Keep calling. Keep getting people involved. I want to say that a lot of things have to be discussed. Now, Obaseki is back, yes. As at, was it last week or 2 weeks, we were supposed to be in a platform with him. I just want you to keep pushing and let us speak so that our voices can be heard. A lot of things can change, and it has started. After this SARS thing, the next thing will come. They should come one after the other. Thank you so much, and have a lovely week ahead.
Thank you so much. God bless you, and please have a safe driving to your destination. It is not easy to drive and listen to this program and also contribute at the same time. That demand a lot of carefulness right there. And we appreciate you, Mr. Chris. I will see you back on Saturday. Don't forget now, the time is 5:30 p.m. in Nigeria time and UK. So, and I know that it looks like Ronnie J has closed his self out. So the ambassador, please, if he's still there. Are you still there with us?
Mommy.
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, go ahead, sir, and give us your closing remark for today, and then so we can call it a day and wait for a Saturday to come so we can discuss the policing and the community policing. Ambassador, please. Ambassador, are you still there? All right. Before you come back, before Ambassador come back, we are about to round up the show now. You have been listening to the Joe Brown Idele-Ero show, happening live on Facebook and YouTube. This is the platform that brings you critical issues going on in our country, Nigeria, and we have intelligent and knowledgeable discussant always that is helping us out with the trending issues. We've had the ambassador is always here with us. Chris Ojais is here with us. Ronnie J also has been here with us, and we have other people who could not appear today because today, people, they are working, I guess, so it's a midweek. So, but at the same time, we have some good number of people in the audience that has asked questions that will be addressed. After the program, we respond to their issue that they are raised, on the chat box. So, Ambassador, please give us your closing remark for today. So we call it a day.
Thank you very much. I quite appreciate this program and everything it's trying to achieve. I say more grease to your elbows. It's a pity that Ronnie Jacobs is gone, because I wanted to address some questions to him concerning this task, because he was saying people don't have leaders and so on. What are you doing about it? And if Mr. Chris is hearing me, you people are on the ground. What are you doing about making sure that future protests and this protest is organized, properly organized around leadership? But you see, this protest was spontaneous. It was not something planned. It just came like that. So to have had leaders directing it would have been, it wouldn't have happened, because it just happened. It was spontaneous. So that's all I will say. And you said next Saturday is community policing, all well and good. We see it, because community policing is part of restructuring also. And because that is all embedded in the 1960 Constitution. So thank you for having me. And it's a pleasure to have seen the two discussants you brought today. God bless you. Have a beautiful week ahead. All my people.
It's my pleasure, sir. Always having you. I'm always excited. You accepting my invitation to come to the program. Always. You don't know how much that means to me. I am so happy. I'm so excited. Without you, this program, will not continue. Without you people generally, you in particular, and my other guests. I have Ronnie always assisting me, helping me out with technical issues and all that. And Chris, from Nigeria, all the way from Nigeria, you can imagine he was driving and he was still able to be part of the program. So that means a lot to me. And with that, I want to say, God bless you and those people who were able to, so that I ask God to take control of your heart desires. Whatever you touch during the week shall be gold in the name of Jesus. So we will close the program now and say bye to everybody. We'll be back again on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday is same time, 5:30 p.m. Nigeria and the UK, and then it is 11:30 a.m. in the North America, not 11:30 a.m. Central Time, North America. So, however, we will see you, and the topic of discussion next week is going to be community policing. Thank you for listening. We will see you on Saturday. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.